Hey all, Axel here. I said when I did the fuel line on this that I was going to need to give it a little bit of attention, and that's what we're doing today. So I bought this wagon back in 2017 for 500 bucks. I always joke about it being my $500 wagon, even though at this point I've got more than that into it. But it doesn't get used a lot, and it tends to sit, and I tend to work on it in fits and starts at best, even by the standard of how I work on stuff. So what I think I'm going to try and do today is give the interior a very thorough vacuuming and cleaning of all the surfaces. The seats I think are fine, but if I find any spots, I'll take care of them. I got to clean all the junk that's accumulated in it out. And then if at the end of all that I've got time still, I'm going to deal with a couple little odds and ends problem jobs that I've been putting off on it. Just give it some time, attention, give it some love. Also, I got to do an oil change on it. I'm not sure I'm going to do that today, but it's definitely very due for that. So let's get going. I went in here and vacuumed the hell out of it, and like can't believe how dirty this carpet is, because like I'm still kicking up like sand and stuff just doing that. It's so embedded in the carpet. I did give these floors a half-ass go over with the carpet cleaner when we were cleaning the interior of the Beatus Prius, but as you can see, these carpets are in really... The carpets themselves are not in bad shape. They're just like matted down and full of dirt. I think realistically the only way I'm going to get these carpets properly clean would be to pull them out and power wash them. And I haven't quite decided if I'm going that far yet. But it's at least better. There were literally, I should have filmed it before, there were literally like drifts of sand in the corner. That's why this is so dirty right here. But I mean, it's better. It looks like I tried. Didn't succeed, but it looks like I tried. I gotta get rid of this and find a different solution. I think I'm gonna get just the double one like I have in the van, because this is too big and bulky and interferes with that. I also need to find a better solution for power, because again, this is just awkward and weird. But like everything's just grimy. I know I've cleaned this car in the last year or so, but it's just dirty in here. Probably because I haven't cleaned the rugs, so wiping down this stuff doesn't matter much. If as soon as you step on the rug you kick up dirt. But like all the stuff I found under the seats, yeah, one of the things I need to address is that lower cover there. It's actually been like that since I bought the car. There's a, I don't know, cardboard something. I think I may just take this off, because now I'm realizing I thought this was sturdier than it is, but it's not. It's very soft and sort of, it's a weird like clothy cardboardy material. But I think I just need to take that off, because I was going to recover it. I kept meaning to do that, but now that I'm actually poking at it, it's not really solid enough. I think that it would work well, because I don't know how I would properly glue things to something so floppy. I think maybe if I just take this off, it'll not look like it's supposed to be there. Or to look, you know, it's better to not have something here and have it seem like that's how it's supposed to be, and then have something there that looks all torn up and gross. I do want this interior to look nice, because this is the one aspect of this car that is actually in really good shape, is the interior. It's just gotten dirty over the year. Well, it was dirty when I bought it. I cleaned it. It's gotten dirty again over the years. And here's another thing. I welded up some rot holes in this. Kind of see the two mounts for the gas tank were completely rotted. There's a hole there, there was another hole here, and another hole there. I think these were not drain holes, but there was something there that I just removed entirely. Oh, and I welded up a hole here. But as you can see, again, I got as far as throwing a coat of primer on it and then never got any further. I don't even know. Oh, that's where that's coming. I was about to say, I don't know where all this mess is coming from, but no, it's coming from right there. Wow, that's unfortunate. See, this is the problem with this wagon, is like I said, it's kind of rotted everywhere. in various, yeah, see all along here? It's all just rotten. So that's an actual hole, like, that's an actual hole. That's a problem. But, oh, there's another one there, look at that. I think that's the gas tank on the other side though, so that one I'm going to have to get more creative about. But yeah, I think I should probably go through. I was going to say I should clean this up and throw a coat of paint on it, but now I'm realizing I think I need to do a little bit more just to, you know, because holes into the body, that's not acceptable. Alright, I'm in the way back here. I pulled the seats out, vacuumed everything in here, and this seems to be the only really bad spot. Unfortunately, the other side does not seem to have that same issue, though it does seem to extend a little bit further over. So I think what I'm going to do is just pull this out, rip out all the seam sealer, give that a quick grind and spray, and then just weld a L-shaped piece of metal in there. This and this are actually not strongly tied together, but I might as well just tie them together and reinforce that corner. The rest of this seems to be okay other than needing touch-up. Underside of this is scaly as hell, so I may get under there while I'm grinding this, all the rust in here, and just give the underside a whole grind and paint as well, just because I'm there. I love that I went to clean this car and I'm finding new projects with it. This, I'm 99% sure that's the gas tank that you can see through the hole. So that's going to get probably like a grind and a cleanup and a paint, and then just a glob of seam sealer or something, because I'm not pulling the tank to just weld up a random little hole like that. Not on this car. But yeah, this is precisely why it's the $500 station wagon, because there's always little weird problems everywhere. Yeah, replace this tailgate because the one that was on the car was rotted, and the window mechanism had been, somebody had attempted to do something with it and it just messed it all up. So I got this one for like 50 bucks somewhere, put it on. I was really happy that it still had its retention cable for when it flopped down intact, and then about a week later it snapped, these rust inside. So I need to get that out. The problem is that one of the end of it is caught by the whole bracket here, and then find a solution for that. But again, this has been going on for years, so that's not exactly a rush. And the headliner back here is just starting to fall. So I'm going to pull these trims off and see if I can just spray some headliner adhesive in there and sort of push it back up again. Because the problem with these headliners when they start to fail like this is the glue fails in one spot and it droops down, and then the weight of the headliner continues to pull it more and more and more. So if you can stick it back up, even imperfectly, you'll at least stem the degradation for a little while. So yeah, I'm gonna deal with that. Yeah, this is the thing that's like you obviously can see with this wagon, like that. It's just got little problems everywhere. I just took that lens off there because that bulb was being flickery, so I think I've got a bad ground. Probably going to put an LED bulb in there, because holy cow, is that whole assembly hot from that bulb just being on for a couple of minutes. Not sure what I'm doing with this video. I may go further. This may be the end of it. I'm now realizing I can't, there's no reason for me to clean the whole inside of the car really well if I'm about to start grinding in here, because I'll just fill it with grinding dust. So, do I want to work on this now? You know what? F it. Let's get this rust dealt with, and then I'll be able to, if I fix that, that'll seal this whole area up, and I think I can put the carpets back in here that have been out for however long. And this area will look a little bit more done, and those carpets will no longer be in my garage in the way. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to pull this seat out. I'm going to pull the seat belt out and just get in there and do something. Yeah, I'm going to rearrange vehicles first, though, so this is closer to the welder. All right, cleared this out. These were a disaster to get out because the ends of the bolts, which I'm sitting on right now so I can show you, the ends of the bolts were just completely rotted. There were no threads. So getting these two out was a disaster. I'm gonna have to find some new bolts to replace them. But as you can see, we have a bigger problem. This is all rotted, this is rotted, that's rotted, this whole corner is rotted. This over here is rotted, which I didn't even spot before. I just saw that I was a little bit rusty. Nothing else I've found so far, but this is all areas that I've worked before. So this is a body mount right here. So as you can see by the fact that this is down, this whole part of the car is sagging a little bit because it's supposed to be part of that body mount. There's not a lot I can do about that because this is a little cover plate technically, but it's welded in place, and I'm not drilling out all the spot welds to pull it out because, again, we are not restoring this car. I think I'm going to put the jack under this corner and lift this up a little bit so that when I tie this to this, it's up a bit. But I'm just going to, along this strip is going to get an L of metal. I'm going to plate this, and I think I'm going to plate it down over the seatbelt just for making myself feel better. Like I'll just make one long plate that comes down here and spot welds in all around. This over here and this over here I'm not gonna worry about particularly because the underlying, this tub seems to be nice and solid there. It seems to just be that moisture has gotten in behind and sat here and rusted. What the heck? It's like a giant sheet of rust in there that I can't get. Yeah, there's nothing. I'm going to try and blow out the worst of the rust in here, but yeah, wow. There's an entire sheet of rust in here that just disintegrated. So this whole piece is bad because that came off over here. But I may just throw something over this just to hide the hole more than anything. Or I may do another L. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. I think because this is nice and solid. That looks like it's solid in here, but it can't hurt. So I think I'm just going to, again, L of steel, welded to this, welded to that. These over here are probably going to see if I can just weld them up with just fill them with the welder. That seems to be fine. This is just going to get a quick and dirty plate over it. Like, I don't even think it's worth trying to cut this stuff out. Because I can't, I don't know. I guess I can get at the back of that. I'm not really going to be able to get at that because it's up above the frame rail. Plus, I don't want to cut this part separate from the inner part to any degree that it's still attached. So these are going to get left alone. This, I think I may cut out. This over here I may cut out. I'm not going to bother cutting any of this out because, yeah, this is just quick and dirty. Mostly I'm trying to seal the holes, and in this case just give it a little bit more structure again. So I need to come in with a smaller tool and expose more metal so that I can weld things, and then form up some patches real quick and get them in here. I think because like that spot is stronger, some of this might be a little bit stronger. I might very carefully drill a couple spot welds here and here in the replacement piece, just so if I can tie it in more than just at the edge of it out here, that's good. And the same thing, I'm going to put some spot weld holes there so I can tie that in, but it's going to come out here way more than it's going to come up there, so who knows. But yeah, I want to just bang this out tonight if I can, so I can throw some paint on all of this and throw some paint on the whole tub and just be done with the job. So I'm got myself prepped. I just wanted to show you this because I'm amused at myself that, like, okay, so I got my piece of metal, my little piece of metal, and just every Goram tool I might need, including the welder and my welding gear, because climbing in and out of this is a pain in the butt since it's up on ramps right now. So I wanted to do it, get in here once if at all possible. So yeah, I'm just gonna put you on time lapse, and I'm just gonna see how much of this I can bang out. I'm hoping I can just get it all done. I'm about to go in and have dinner, but made good progress. This is all in and welded up. I'm reasonably happy with that. This corner's all in and welded up. The rust went up a little higher in here than I realized, so the top of this is a little burned out, but it's better than it was. I still have to form the patch for here, which I'm not entirely sure how I'm doing that because it tucks up into there. And then I still have to make the patch that goes down here. But, you know, the two biggest spots. I tried to fill in over here. This is just blowing through. I could put a patch here, but I've decided I don't care enough. I did blow out in here with the air gun as much as I could, and then sprayed in there with the phosphoric acid. I think once this is all in and I've done the underside, I may go in and not seam seal, cavity wax that to just slow that rust down in there. Yeah, but we're making progress here. I'm happy with, like, this corner is now much more reinforced than it was. So I put a bunch of strength back into that, even if it's not the perfect way to do it. Same here, these two panels are now properly tied together in the corner. So yeah, I got to get that, and I want to get this. And like I said, I'm going to make this patch go down around to the seatbelt mount just for my own peace of mind that this metal is all going to be nice and strong. Actually, wait a minute. No, that's fine. There's a huge plate back there. So no, that's fine. I'm just going to patch this little hole then. Yeah. So I don't think I'm going to get this all done today, but I might. We'll see. All right. Back from dinner, back at it. Got a light because it'd gotten dark. So I'm trying to figure out how to patch this in here. The biggest problem being it's up in there, so fabbing a patch. Not only is it difficult to get the patch up in there, but I'm trying to fabricate something that's curved in this dimension and in this dimension at the same time. It's really not an easy solution to this. I think what I may end up having to just do is basically, one, I need to shorten this because I don't, less metal is easier to shape and move. But I think I need to basically like jam this in here, weld it to the top, and then just hammer it down to meet the bottom, which is going to be kind of a pain in the butt, but I think that's my simplest solution. Over here it's going to be super easy. I'm just going to hack a piece into this, put a little bit of a bend in it, and then wrap it over that and just be done. And all right, so yeah, let's get to it. All of that's now welded up. However, I went through and was doing some quickie grinding in here to just hit the rusty spots so that I could Master Series this entire thing. And turns out if you don't solve the underlying problem and then let it go for a few years, you get more rot. But like, it's rotted through there. It's rotted through a bunch over here. There was someplace else. There's a spot there. Yeah, I think realistically this whole tub is probably pretty thin. If I cared about this car, I'd be replacing it. Or, you know what I mean. So this has just turned into a multi-day project. So I got to put a patch there, I got to put a patch there, and I got to put a patch there, and then I got to pull this seat out, check behind it. I may do that tonight. And then as soon as I've got these patched up, I need to go on the underside and just wire brush the entire underside and coat it in something so this stops just rusting through. Because at this point it's not coming from the top, it's coming from the bottom. But I mean, whatever, I'm making progress. And if it worse comes to worse, I'll just hack the entire bottom of the tub out and just weld a sheet in there. All right, I just ground the underside because I realized I'm already grimy. I might as well do it. And now here's our rot situation. There's another one over there. That's much more extensive. And then there's that. But really, let me show you what I'm talking about when I talk about this car is rotten. So here we are underneath, and I just ground all of this, and it looks massively better, and with some Master Series it'll look presentable, and I can stem that rust. But like, there's rust there, there's rust there. That's all. There's already up here to the point where it's all coming apart. Where else was this part? There's rust up in there. I knew about this already. I replaced this whole lower quarter a couple of years ago. I never quite finished it, but it's all seam sealed and stuff. But like, there's a rot hole here. And then the body mount I was talking about, I'm looking over here, it's completely gone. Like there's no structure left over there. Yeah, there you go. There's just no structure left. Car's just rotting all over the place. I'm actually getting to the point looking at all of this where I'm wondering, should this thing even be on the road? Like, am I getting to the point where it's actually actively unsafe? Like, the frame seems solid. There's one spot where they always rot up front that's already been fixed previously with some heavy duty plate. That was before I got the car. I'm just realizing there's rust everywhere. And I'm not fixing all of this again. This would be a hell of a job to fix because they don't make the patch panels for this. So this will all be fabrication. And this car is just not worth that, at least to me. So I don't know. Give me your opinion. Should this car be on the road? Should I get rid of it? The floors are not rotted through, but there's again rot here. It seems like anywhere where stuff could get trapped is where it rotted. It didn't do like the floors rotted out from leaks stuff. It was all just where water sort of snuck in somewhere and pulled. But yeah, let me know what you think. I'm genuinely curious because I'm a little too close to it, literally and figuratively at the moment. So I know how much time I've got in this car. I know I like it, but I'd like to know what you think. Do you think, as it stands now, assuming I did no more rust repair to it besides, these holes right in this floor where I'm in the middle of, would you feel safe both in this car and also knowing this car was on the road? Anyway, yeah, let me know. I will talk to you later. Bye.